Democrats are trying to make their mark now, because if they lose the Senate come November, all this work comes to a screeching halt. I want to bring in NBC News senior national political reporter Sahil Kapoor. And Sahil, like, living in D.C. and in the Beltway, it's like noms, you know, people kind of roll their eyes. They're like, yeah, but it's not a yeah kind of thing. This is important. This matters. Talk about the stakes here and what Senate Democrats and the president are doing now.
Yes, the stakes are enormous, Hallie. This is such a consequential piece of President Biden's legacy. So far, at this point in his term, he is outpacing Donald Trump and other predecessors by having 82 judges confirmed through the Senate by this point. It's an unusually quick number. Now, Democrats still have an additional few months to get some more judges through, and Chuck Schumer, the majority leader, is determined to do that much. But beyond that, it is unclear how much further President Biden can continue to build this legacy. That question will be answered by voters in crucial swing states that will decide which party takes control of the chamber in January. If Democrats hang on, Chuck Schumer will remain in control, and he will continue to make it a priority to push these Biden-nominated judges through. If Republicans take control, it will be Mitch McConnell, who has an extremely different idea of what kind of judges should be on the bench, and he would have the power to bring this entire project to a halt, much as he did during the last 2 years of the Obama administration. Remember, it's Mitch McConnell who believes in the conservative judges, including the three that were part of the Supreme Court majority to overturn Roe versus Wade. So the stakes, as you mentioned, are very personal for Americans. The abortion ruling has highlighted the fact that judges are not really theoretical, but there's so many other issues at stake, and it's district court and circuit court judges who have the last word on 99% of cases involving American law. Very few cases even make it to the Supreme Court.
There's another factor at play here, and that is representation and diversity. Explain that.
Absolutely. Well, there are two ways that President Biden has diversified the federal court. The first is through racial and ethnic diversity. You see those numbers on the screen. They're highly unusual in terms of shares of judges who are black, who are Hispanic, who are Asian Americans. 3/4 of President Biden's judicial nominees as of this summer were women, which is highly unusual. The second way that Biden has diversified the courts is experiential diversity. And this is one where progressive advocates I talk to are even more excited. Biden has broken with even the Obama administration and picking a high share of former public defenders, civil rights lawyers, labor lawyers, and the union side to be federal judges. That's a break from a tradition where, you know, if you're a prosecutor or a corporate lawyer, you tend to get a fast track to the courts under presidents, both Democratic and Republican. And Hallie, the one person who embodies this is Justice Ketanji Brown Jackson. She made history as the first black woman on the Supreme Court, and she's a former public defender. One easy way for voters to think about the stakes in this midterm election is, do you want more judges like Ketanji Brown Jackson or more judges like Amy Coney Barrett?